Rocking with the voice of town view. We put our spin on trending topics and school news. Thought-provoking, insightful, we speak the truth. We do it for all ages, not just for the youth. Listen close, you might learn something. Or laugh so hard, you split your side or something. Live stream a podcast. Whenever you tune in, it's sure to be a blast. Let's be honest, you don't want to miss that. Content so real, you gonna want to run it back. We keep you entertained while making an impact. Want foreign announcements, well this is not that. Sports, pop, culture, political. Whatever you like, we got you covered, bro. It's a movement more than just a show. It's KSB Elmer Radio.
Welcome back, everybody. This is KSBM Radio, the voice of Townview, and I'm here with
Doc.
And I'm JoJo. And we're having another sports segment, you know.
Part 3.
Three in a row. So hopefully third time's a charm. Even though the other ones, they weren't bad, but.
I gotta say, our first time was the best time.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I think it was because it was like some just like crazy stuff happening in the sports world. It was the KD trade, and then like, it was just a whole lot, especially with the trade deadline, which is normally like the craziest part of the year. So
It's my favorite part of the year.
Yeah, you know what else is my favorite part of the year?
What?
Spring break.
Spring break. I'm not even gonna be here tomorrow.
So it's like basically this is your last day before.
Today's my last day, and then I'm not going to school.
Any plans for spring break?
A couple college visits, couple Mavs games.
Dang, multiple Mavs games?
Maybe like one or two.
Okay. Which one are you going to?
I'm going to the Memphis game, and I might go to. I mean, I don't know. I think they have a game on Friday or Saturday, so I'll probably go to one of those.
Dang, Jaw's not finna be there.
Nah, but it's okay. I didn't pay for tickets to see Ja. I paid for tickets to see Luka and Kyrie, but now Luka's hurt, so I might not see him. So, but you know,
I mean,
still see Kyrie in live action. You know what I'm saying? So,
that means
you got any plans for spring break?
I mean, my aunt's finna come from Mexico, so we're probably just gonna show her the city and stuff. Probably, I don't know. We were planning to go to the Texas Tulips, but have you been there before?
Nah. Is this her first time up here?
It'll be her second in Texas, but like she goes to like California a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she be around. Texas Tulips is basically like a big field where you pick out your own tulips. Yeah, as the name implies. But dang, there's a whole lot of stuff coming up recently.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Like, the school year's about to end.
School year's about to end. I basically have a month left. So,
dang, when y'all get out? Y'all get out
like
that early?
We have AP exams on May 2nd. Well, like that first week of May. And then after that, we're basically done. Because I think our grades are due May 9th. So,
dang, that's so nice. Y'all don't got to take the second round of ACPs.
Nope.
Y'all get out early. When's y'all's graduation?
May, I want to say May 28th. May 28th, May 21st, one of the 2 days. I don't remember. It's a Sunday.
So, and y'all don't have to make up the days we missed for this storm.
Imagine having to make up days for school.
Hey.
I heard that we didn't have to, though.
We don't? I mean, I guess it was just a few days, so they're probably not tripping about it that much.
That was like the whole week. They canceled Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they canceled Thursday again. And then Friday.
The whole week. Basically, we had an early spring break back like a few weeks ago.
Any day off from school is a good day.
It's a good
That's
day.
all I'm saying.
But
let's waste no more time. Let's get straight into the show. So up first, we have the NBA playoffs coming up. They come up next month. I believe they start April 12th, April 13th, one of the 2 days. And I want to know what teams do you see as contenders? Like, obviously, you know, there's those teams who have like the star power, and you know they're basically a lock or a conference favorite to come out and win. You know, so like, who do you see at the top of the league?
I won't lie, my answers are kind of basic. They're like the teams at the top, but that's because I can't really see anybody else taking their spots. Like, so in the East, they got the Bucks. I want to say 76ers, but they're a little wishy-washy sometimes.
Sixers. Yeah, I was going to say the Sixers are a little iffy sometimes.
The Celtics And then my dark horse in the East would be, I'd have to say the Heat.
The Heat
Or the Knicks. The Knicks are, I mean,
the Knicks
compared to before.
The Knicks aren't bad, but at the same time, the Knicks are the Knicks. I mean,
what can go wrong will go wrong.
Exactly. They had, but before last night, I want to say they had won 8 straight games. So
I mean, they've been looking solid this season. It's not like they're doing how they were before back in the day, back in Kristaps days.
Ah man, yeah, they were really bad.
But I mean, the Heat, Jimmy Butler, he just be turning up out of nowhere in the playoffs.
For no reason. Is his time. It's guys like him, guys like Kawhi, who they're like kind of chilling the regular season. They may not get the All-NBA honors, but they might get that All-Star nod, and then after that, they go crazy in the playoffs.
Yeah,
it happens every year.
It sparks something inside them.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the playoffs. That's when you really compete.
Yeah.
And so, you know.
And then in the West, my picks are the Mavs, obviously.
Of course.
Championship bound now that we got.
I hope.
If Luka can come back.
We've been a little.
The Nuggets, the Suns, and I don't know. My dark horse is like, I'd say the Clippers because, yeah, they're good and they're like top 8. They're gonna make the playoffs, but I don't know. They're real inconsistent too. But I feel like they can make a run for at least the conference finals, if anything.
So you don't have the Warriors in your top 5?
Okay, I don't know. I haven't really heard that much about them this season. Like they just came off the championship, but they haven't been showing me what they need to show.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they should have been stronger this year than they were last year. Because I mean, this is their second season altogether. Maybe their third. Yeah, I want to say it's their third season altogether. Obviously, last year they won the championship, and like when you have a team, the way that they dominated, pretty much dominated the Celtics during the finals, especially after Game 3. You know, you expect the team to come out and like just really show you something. You know,
I guess that's kind of also what happened with the Rams. This season, they were completely booty.
Yeah,
but it wasn't entirely their fault because they were like riddled with injuries and whatnot. But it was basically the same story. They won the championship, then the next season they were just doing. Well, the Warriors they're not bad, but they're
like the 5th seed now. Yeah. I think maybe 5th or 6th, one of the two.
I just don't see them going all the way, if that makes sense.
Well,
who you got?
For me, in the out east, I got the Bucks and the Celtics at the top. They've continuously been at going head to head at the top of the Eastern Conference.
It's been for a while now, like that, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, since basically 2021, really.
Basically, since Giannis got good.
Basically, and then my dark horse in the East, I'd have to say the Sixers are a dark horse.
Not because dark horse.
What? Yes, for the simple fact of the matter that they're a good team, right? Mm-hmm. They have Joel Embiid, they have James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, etc. Right? Mm-hmm. But those guys can be inconsistent from time to time. Like James Harden, he's been playing pretty good recently. Some nights he'll give you 20, 10, and 10. Some nights he'll give you 15, 7, and 10. Some nights, maybe 6 points.
Damn, and bro, so what a fall from grace. Because back to when a few years ago he was putting up like 50,
30, exactly,
almost
on a
every
nightly
night.
basis.
Yes, bro, that was wild. But then I don't know what happened. He just got traded.
I don't know. I think,
and then it all went downhill from there.
I think it was a trade, honestly, or maybe it was those last years in Houston. Because I remember that last year when they traded for Russ, after they traded Clint Capella, they were basically running small ball the whole time. They were playing PJ Tucker at center, and he's only 6'5". Like what?
I guess it's also kind of like the system. They were like, oh, we got James Harden. Let's try to elevate him as much as we can. But here in the Sixers, they got Joel Embiid, and that's like their guy. So
he is their guy. He is.
They kind of put Harden at a back seat, and
they letting Embiid play on control. Not even cruise control. He's playing control.
6 points is wild for the level of player he is. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like only putting up 6 points in the whole game.
And then, I mean, Tobias Harris, he's good, but he can also be inconsistent from time to time. I remember there were some trade talks about him earlier this year and some of last year. I'm surprised he didn't get shipped off somewhere, but at the same time, not really, because he's still a good factor offensively at least, and they get them some rebounds too.
Yeah, they need the depth because apart from like their main guys, they don't really have that deep
really
of a
don't.
bench. And they really rely heavily on Joel Embiid.
They do so much. Another team that I think has a lot of depth, but I think they have a lot of depth, but I don't see them going all the way. It's the Nets. Obviously, at the trade deadline, they made the move from Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. Some other trades, Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian. Obviously, that boosts their depth, specifically in the starting lineup. Because they have Spencer starting, they have Mikal as shooting guard, Cam Johnson, Dorian, and then Claxton, right? Mm-hmm. And then they have Ben Simmons, Cam Thomas, Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Royce O'Neal to come off the bench. And so they're pretty good, but I don't.
You don't
none
see
of them
them
have.
taking it.
Yeah, none of them have like the superstar role.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say
push them all the way.
They have a lot of depth. Like they're well rounded, but they don't have one guy that can take over the game and in those crucial moments,
right,
take over and beat somebody like Giannis, who is gonna show up in those moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's basically what all teams need to succeed. Like, sure, you can have a well-rounded team and still do good, but you're gonna need that one guy that can take the last-minute shot, and either they're gonna make it, or if they didn't make it, nobody else was gonna make it either way.
Yeah, team. My other dark horse team, who's basically like that, is the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. You know, those guys. Oh, they have a very big front court, and so I think they might be a couple Evan Mobley double-doubles away from really being a contender. You know what I'm saying? Because some nights he'll give you 19-7, other nights 15-10, 15-12, or whatever. You know,
Nothing.
Evan Mobley's gonna flourish. He's gonna become a star one day for sure.
He's consistently being like a solid player for them right now.
Yeah, but Donovan Mitchell is playing out of his mind. So,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like he really pushed them up there with the bigger name teams. They're sitting fourth in the East.
Dang,
Fourth. I thought at the beginning of the season, I'm not gonna lie, I thought they're gonna be like sixth, but
I didn't even think they were gonna make the playoffs. I don't know. That's just been in my mind ever since LeBron
Donovan
left.
Mitchell's a big factor though.
Ever since LeBron left, I've just seen the Cavs the Cavs as like just not even making the playoffs. Like that didn't even pop in my mind. They're fourth.
For a while, I thought it'd be that way, but I mean because I didn't think Darius Garland would be as good as he is.
Yeah, that's true.
But hey,
Donovan Mitchell's that guy. What can I say?
Yeah, out west.
And I feel like that was one of the. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say out west, I've got the Nuggets, the Suns, the Warriors, and the Mavericks as contenders.
Nuggets, Suns, Warriors, Mavericks.
My thing with the Nuggets is they rely so heavily on Jokic.
Yeah.
So by the time, or he does all of this good in the regular season, but by the time it comes to the playoffs, he's so beat up, and so they have to like actually use everybody else.
Yeah, because also that same thing happened last season. Where
Exactly.
Who did they get eliminated by? The Warriors, right?
They got bounced by the Warriors in the first round.
The MVP carrying his team just to get bounced by the Warriors, who weren't even popping off like that.
Exactly. I gotta say the Warriors were like what? Oh well, they were the third seed, so I give them that. They were much better than they are now. So, but at the same time, I gotta say they were more healthy last year. This year the Warriors are less healthy. Wiggins has been missing games. Poole, Curry was out for a while. Draymond is missing time too, and so they've got to. I guess they just need that entire group on a nightly basis, really.
No, who do you have going to the finals?
To the finals,
who is your predictions to make it?
I see one or two things happening.
Nah, who's like
actually
your one, the one, like number one?
The one, I gotta. The Warriors and the Bucks.
Oh my God.
It's something about the Warriors in the playoffs where they absolutely kick it up a notch. Like, they know regular season they'll be good. Wherever they fall is where they fall. If they get 5th seed, they get the 5th seed, and they run with that. There's a different element that they play in during the playoffs, and you see that with Steph all the time. You see that with Clay, obviously very notable for it, the Game 6 Clay reference. So
Headband Clay
too. Draymond has been a facilitator for the team for a while, and so I feel like he's just gonna keep doing his thing. Jordan Poole is better this season than he was last year, or he's more developed. So I gotta say that he's gonna he'll be able to elevate his game. Same with Wiggins. They'll both be able to elevate their games and contribute to the team. And Looney too.
It's crazy because Draymond is like one of those guys that on paper he sounds like just another role player, but then before I really started watching the games like that, I'd be like, why is everybody talking about this guy and why is he always held in such high regard? But then I watch their games and then I'm like, okay, I get it now.
Exactly. The stuff he does doesn't show up on the stat sheet,
yeah.
But when you watch the games, you see how important a player like him is.
It's just like the little stuff, like the extra little getting in the way so your guy can get open,
exactly.
Or setting screens or just creating lanes, just all the little things that really create opportunities for the whole team.
Yeah. I got to say my dark horse candidates out west, though, are the Lakers if they make it into the playoffs because they have a good core now with D'Lo, Malik Beasley, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Jerry Vanderbilt. They've been doing pretty good. They've been doing pretty good without LeBron. They just beat the Grizzlies the other night. Mm-hmm. And so I think they have a good chance. And then my other dark horse is the Kings. They're sitting second now.
That is a crazy
sitting
sentence
second
to
now
hear
in the
out.
Western Conference. But I think they have a good team. Fox, Sabonis were both All-Stars this year. Malik Monk coming off the bench, one of the favorites to win Sixth Man of the Year. Kevin Huerter and all those other guys who are on that team playing their roles and stuff, they do their job. And then Mike Brown, their coach, he's been doing a good job coaching them defensively. And so quite honestly, I'm really excited to see who they match up against in the playoffs. I want to see them go up against a team like the Clippers.
That's still so crazy to me. The Kings are serious contenders. Wow. I never thought I'd hear this day.
Nah, I thought it'd be a while. They're looking to end that 16-year playoff drought. Like, imagine not going to the playoffs for 16 years.
I'd be depressed.
But I mean, hey, they're getting the job done now, and I guess that's all that matters.
Better late than never, I guess.
Yeah.
I have I want to say the Mavs. I got the Mavs
in the finals.
Yeah, I got the Mavs.
Who they play
against? The Celtics.
The Celtics. I can see that. That's my second choice.
Because
that's my second matchup.
Because the Celtics, they already made it last year, and I feel like last year they were a little bit green. You know what I mean? Like they were still young and they're still trying to figure it out. I mean, they were still doing really good, obviously, but then against a way more experienced team like the Warriors, sure. they got swept. Well, not swept, but
4-2.
Yeah, but those are my picks. So we'll be right back. This is the end of our hot topic, and we'll be right back.
Yo, what's up, KZN family? Currently enjoying the show? But don't leave us just yet. We will be right back after this short break. This is KSBN Radio Sports and Entertainment section coming up, where we bring you the latest sports and the most entertainment going on around the world. So sit back and enjoy.
All right, welcome back to KSBN Radio, the voice of Townview. I'm Doc.
And I'm JoJo.
And today, obviously, we've got more sports and entertainment for you.
Yes,
really just sports. I don't know what I'm talking about. So our first topic will be the the NFL predictions for next season.
This one's gonna be interesting.
Okay, so obviously, starting with the Super Bowl, obviously we saw the Chiefs and the Eagles go up against each other, and the Chiefs won. A lot of people say that the holding call at the end of the game was very controversial and a pivotal point in the game, but at the same time, you still got to give credit where it's due. Patrick Mahomes was playing hurt, and he
was
still was
limping
able,
around out there, barely able to walk.
and he was still able to keep up with the team that went 14, 15-3 in the regular season.
Yeah.
So I mean, and when your quarterback is playing hurt, you expect for them to be a target, and then with that person being a target, you think that the other team would come out and dog you. But he kept up with them for quite a while. And so I feel like with him coming back next season fully healthy and with the offseason training, I think that a Chiefs repeat is possible.
That's who you're going with? That's your pick?
I think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl next year.
You think they're going to repeat?
I think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl next year.
What?
The entire thing.
Who you got going against them, though?
That's a really good question.
Chiefs repeat. That's wild.
The Chiefs and the Bengals are in the NFC, right?
No, they're in the AFC.
Oh, they're both in the AFC.
They met in the conference final.
I'm sure. Shoot. I mean, I think the Eagles have potential to make it back.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think they're not one of those one and done teams where they get really good for one season and then they're done?
Nah, because I mean they have a really solid core. Obviously, Jalen Hurts running their offense. And then their tight ends, wide receivers, I feel like they're all pretty solid. They've been doing a solid job, or especially last season. And they're only going to get better. Obviously, coming off a loss from the Super Bowl, they'll be more hungry. Yeah. So they'll want to get back there.
A.J. Brown, that A.J. Brown pickup was, I think, what really put them crucial above everybody else, because he's such a danger on the offensive side and just really to do anything. Like he's a big dude, so he's a deep threat. He can run those short routes, and that just really opens up everybody else. I think the main thing they really had issues with was probably their running back. But, I mean, that doesn't really matter because you got Jalen Hurts, who's basically a running back who can also play QB.
Yeah, he's athletic enough to play both positions if he needs to. Yeah. Another thing I find interesting, or another thing I'm curious to see, is what happens with Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson this year.
It's still wild to me that Lamar doesn't have like a 5-year contract.
Exactly. He doesn't. He hasn't had a big contract like on the table, and he deserves it. And so I feel like, I mean, they put a franchise tag on him, but
disrespect.
That's highly disrespectful. He deserves his bag. Like, pay that man. Mm-hmm. Pay him, please.
Where do you think Aaron Rodgers is gonna end up?
I saw something about him getting rumored. There was a rumor that he was gonna possibly end up traded to the Jets.
Yeah, I heard
so
that too.
I feel like that could happen. I feel like a team who needs a stronger quarterback could potentially make a move for him. Obviously, being in Dallas, you'd like to see the Cowboys make a move for him.
Even if it's just for one season. Yeah. Like, we really need that playoff experience, even though
we do. And, I mean, we don't really have that. Year after year,
Dak only has like
bounced out.
I think it was 5 playoff wins total. Some crazy low number like that. And it's just, it's sad to see. But, I mean, maybe if Aaron Rodgers, takes the wheel a little bit more and he just kind of shows Dak how to navigate the playoffs a little bit more, he can get that experience under his belt. And then we can succeed from there.
It's something about veteran experience that pushes a team over the top from time to time. You see that. Honestly, you see that in all sports. You see it in the MLB, the NBA, hockey, football. You just see it everywhere. And I feel like Aaron Rodgers coming in with a pretty much young team.
I would say
relatively young team.
I wouldn't say young. I'd say
But-
unpolished.
Yeah, unpolished, inexperienced,
Yeah.
kind of.
Especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, I feel like when you get a guy like him coming in, it does you some good, you know.
But it also would be interesting to see him end up in the Jets because, you know, their whole quarterback situation with Zach Wilson, you know, it was kind of looking real rough for him in the last season. And I thought they were going to cut him, to be honest. Even though they wasted such a high first-round pick on him. Was he first round? I mean, first overall? Or what was he?
It might have been first overall because they were pretty bad, weren't they?
Yeah, they were horrible. And I guess they just didn't want to let that go. But it would be interesting to see him because I think he was like his mentor in college. I know he was some mentor figure during some part in his career. And it would be interesting to see that dynamic. And if he could help Zach mature more and so he can really focus on his career and change his trajectory because for a second it looked like he was gonna end up with no job.
Yeah, you see that a lot. A lot of the guys, they're like they might have a couple down games or like a couple, you know, maybe a string of seasons where they're like kind of like wishy-washy, like they play high and they play low and then they play back high again and then they come back and they're extremely low. And I think being put out of a job or being on the verge of being put out of a job kind of motivates you to do better. And so I think he may have a turnaround this year.
You think he's gonna have a breakout year?
For sure. He'll probably be one of those breakout candidates for sure. But yeah.
I mean, it doesn't help that the Jets aren't really surrounding him with the pieces to succeed.
They need more help. And I mean, I think that they gotta do what they gotta do. They know what to do. It's just that they're not doing it.
That's also kind of like what happened with Aaron Rodgers. Like Aaron Rodgers was carrying
definitely.
the Packers to the playoffs
Every single year. Even if they just creep in there, he's still getting a job done.
And all they really gave him his whole time there was Devontae Adams. Like,
How long was he there?
I have no idea. It was a while though, wasn't it?
It might have been.
Because did they draft him or did they trade for him?
I want to say they traded for him.
Because like every year it was the joke of the draft. Are the Packers gonna draft the first round wide receiver? And it was never the case.
Never the case.
They even drafted a quarterback before they drafted a wide receiver.
Exactly, and that doesn't make sense. Like, you know, when you have a first or a high overall pick, like you have to go for like what is fitting. You know, when you already have a star
in that moment.
Exactly. When you already have a star, your star quarterback Aaron Rodgers, and then you're lacking in other spots such as the wide receiver position. Like you have to draft a wide receiver, even if he's not the best player in the draft. You still got to go for him because eventually if you don't go for a player like that, then you're wasting. It's basically a waste of a pick.
They basically
honestly.
wasted his career, to be honest. Like, what does he have to show for it apart from like individual stats? I mean, accolades.
Personally, I think they should just go ahead and move him. Honestly, I think they should just go ahead and move Aaron Rodgers.
Move him where?
I mean, obviously they have the Jets package.
That'd be a lot of draft picks.
Yeah, it would be.
They have
It'd
a
be
lot
a
of
haul, honestly. Honestly, I just say trade him wherever he sees fit, because he's getting old, or he is old.
How many seasons do you think he has left in him?
A maximum of 3.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
If anything, if it doesn't go any further than that, then it's likely that this will be his last one, because he's talked about retiring before. So
I was thinking more like 2, because I feel like this season is gonna go all right, and then the next season is gonna have a big downhill jump, and then he's gonna be like, you know what, I'm done. I've had enough.
yeah,
And then kind of like what happened with Brady.
true. Our next topic, it's not worldwide, but it's happening here. It's local. We have our School of Business and Management basketball game versus the School of Law. It's going down today. Martin, I heard that you, or we talked earlier, and you told me that you be there.
I will be in attendance. Yep.
Yeah, that's
I made
good.
some arrangements.
That's solid. Thank you. See, honestly, I'm excited. Obviously, I've stated this before multiple times on the show. I'm playing.
Oh, really? I never noticed.
I might have just missed it like 1 or 2 times.
Once or
Maybe
twice.
1 or 200
That's
times. I'm really excited though.
Well, approximately like, what do you think the score is going to be?
Well, here's the part where I'm kind of like shaky. We're only playing to 15.
What?
Yes, we're playing to 15, and I
Full
don't know
court?
why. Full court.
Full
But-
court to 15.
Full court to 15. But I mean, here's the good part. Because we're young, we get to run up and down the court. The teachers are not going to do that. They're playing half court.
Oh, okay.
But
That makes sense.
plus it's good for me because I like to play in transition. I like to run. I like to run the floor. So it feels good being able to get up and down. I just feel like we need to go well over 15, like 20, 25. 21
Yeah,
at the minimum, 25 at the most.
I'd
for
say
sure.
like, no, I was thinking more like 30. No, but then you got to get to the games.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
teachers, and I think that's why they put it at 15 because they want the teachers to play and they want everybody to be able to see them.
So is it going to be like, is it just going to be the teachers game and then the students game?
It'll be the students first and then the teachers. I think,
Yeah, but it's just the 2 games?
yeah,
Okay.
it's. I think they put the students first because that's really what
Yeah.
everybody's coming to see. Obviously, for business, you got myself, you got Cammy, Khalid, Kyra, Raina, Santino, Glenn, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I think we have a really solid team.
But you're neglecting one very important fact.
Who?
Someone by the name of Cole.
Yeah.
A certain 4-star recruit.
4-star.
Approximately like
4-star,
6 foot,
short star. No, I'm kidding. I'm
about
kidding.
like 8
Cole's my
foot
dog.
3. You know, he can dunk, no sweat.
Yeah, we saw him.
What are y'all gonna do when he comes down the lane and just shoves it down your throat? Whoa! the basketball in the hoop.
Man, I mean, when Cole comes down the court, we know what it is. He's-
Especially if it's only the 15.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, considering the size advantage that he will have, he'll probably look to get into the paint a lot. I'm ready for it because scratch head, blah. I have to guard him.
You're guard. Oh,
I'm not even nervous though. Like,
oh my goodness.
I feel like it's good experience because I mean I'm going to college next year. Obviously, being in college, guys are already that size.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good for me. Honestly, it's no pressure, no sweat. You know, I feel really confident.
You feel confident.
Yeah. I mean, as long as
Yeah.
I hold it down, we got the game. You know what I'm saying? So
what's gonna be your approach? Because he's a ball handler, ain't he?
yeah. I mean, I can't tell you what I'm gonna do because if I do tell you, then like maybe somebody's listening. Like maybe the ops are listening, and they'll probably tell them what I'm gonna do. But but we are going to play smart. We're gonna play hard, play aggressive. That's the goal around the whole team, honestly. Just make the right passes, do the right things, keep it fundamental, just have fun. That's what I've been stressing this whole time, just to have fun. Because when we play tight, things don't go so well. But when we play loose and have fun, it's
At the end of the day, it's just a little friendly school event.
it's just a little friendly school event until you put $200 on the game.
That's for you.
I'm kidding.
No bets have been made. We don't know what that is. I don't even know what a bet is. to be honest.
I've heard of some bets being placed on the game. Like, why are kids putting $20 on the game? Like, what are y'all doing?
Who would do such a thing?
Not
I
me.
wonder who.
Not I.
Never.
Definitely not
Of
I.
course, never. But how about we move on to the next topic, being influencer boxing. We touched a little bit on it previously in our last show, but we didn't really get to fully expand.
Yeah.
So,
Honestly, or obviously, the Jake Paul has been very active in the boxing community for like the last couple of years. Not couple of years, the last several years. And so far, he's been pretty good. The first time I heard of Jake Paul, he was on Bizarre Bark.
what is that? Oh, is that the Disney
The old
show?
Disney show, yeah. And so after he left there, he got into YouTube and whatever. And then he started doing boxing. And so I honestly didn't think that he would be as solid of a boxer as he is. He's pretty skilled, actually.
Yeah, I hate to admit it, but he's all right.
I think a lot of people just don't like him because of the confidence that he has.
I wouldn't even say it's confident. I'd call it more arrogance.
Right.
He's just a
That's
super
another
cocky
thing.
dude.
Yeah. I gotta say, but sometimes you have to be that way, you know. Sometimes you have to be a little arrogant. Sometimes arrogance is confidence, you know. And
Fake it till you make it, I guess.
yeah. But I mean, he's been doing a good job though.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
before Tommy Fury, he hadn't lost, right?
Yeah, he was undefeated. But I mean, he was facing dudes, retired MMA fighters, and Anderson Silva, who was still a really good striker, but he was like 40-something, 50-something.
Yeah.
And you can't really compete with a 20-year-old guy in the peak of their athletic ability.
Basically, I gotta say, I'm still looking forward to him and KSI.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how Jake Paul has really taken over as more the face of influencer boxing, even though he doesn't want to admit that he's a influencer boxer. That's how he got his start. He trying to hide his roots, but at the end of the day, he did start as a YouTuber boxer, and that's always how he's gonna be seen. But yeah, KSI used to be the face of the whole movement because it was him and Joe Weller that really started the whole I don't like you, you don't like me, we finna box. And I kind of like that because there was a point before that where everybody was just like making videos and diss tracks, and they were never really settling their beef.
Exactly. And KSI was one of the pioneers for it. Like he really started a movement upon influencers, and now they're all trying to kind of get involved.
I mean, it's good because they even made a whole what would you call it, organization? It's called Misfits Boxing, and now that's like the main thing that everybody goes to when they want to start in their influencer boxing scene. That's like the place, and they recently held a tag team fight where it was two boxers.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Two boxers in the same match, and it was like some WWE stuff. It's two guys in at one time, and then you can go tag out, and then they swap. And it was pretty cool.
I heard it was a success.
Yeah, it went pretty well because
It generated a lot of viewers, and people were excited about it. Hopefully, we get to see more of that in the future.
Hopefully, with like some of the bigger names, like there can be some really interesting dynamics. Like imagine Jake Paul and Logan Paul against the other two brothers, KSI and Deji.
Ooh.
That'd draw some numbers in.
Yeah, I mean KSI and Jake Paul has been like it's been one of the biggest unresolved feuds over the last couple of years. And I think people are really ready to see it. I think there was one time where like it was really supposed to happen, and for whatever reason it just didn't happen. And so now people are back at the edge of their seats waiting for it to go down.
Yeah, it's crazy because I mentioned this before, but originally Jake Paul, he didn't want to fight KSI, and it's crazy now how things have reversed, and now KSI is trying to fight Jake. But that's it for our segment.
Yeah, that'll wrap up our show. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at KSBM Radio, Twitter at KSBM_TVT, Instagram and TikTok at KSBMradio.TVT, and listen to us on Spotify and Anchor. Once again, this is our show, KSBM Radio, the voice of Townview. I'm Doc.
And I'm JoJo.
And we'll see y'all next time.
Thank you for listening to KSBM Radio, the voice of Townview.
My radio station.
We hope you enjoyed the great content and great discussion, all from a student's perspective. Make sure to follow us on Twitter for the latest updates at KSBM_TVT or on Facebook at KSBM Radio.
Add them on Facebook.
Check them on Facebook.
Take care.